guys, welcome to Don's Modeling Desk. And this is something that I've been waiting for a while. The last two issues of R2. So the first thing we have to do in issue 99 is to get this circuit board out of the box. And it says to be careful. Don't touch the circuit board. Don't touch the circuit board with any tools. So we're going to do our best not to touch it, because we actually have to take the cover off the box, and the cover does not get put back on the box. It stays off once it's installed inside of R2. Here's what you get. And this is the Wi-Fi antenna. And we're going to be taking the cover off of this, attaching some brackets to it and putting it inside of R2's head, and then connecting the camera and microphone to this board. There's also a micro SD card slot on there. I don't know what that's for, but go over here to myr2d2build.com, and the first thing we got to do is lift this cover off. So let's get that off. There we go. And that's what we have. Have a HDMI plug, and oh, I was wrong. There's no, yeah, it is. There's the SD card slot under the bottom there. But we have a few connectors. So the next thing we're going to do, with some 2.5 by 6 millimeter screws on the silver flange screw. 2.5 by 6 silver flange screw. Those should be in here. There they are. Let me grab my screwdriver, because of course I wasn't prepared at all. I just was excited because I want R2 finished. Trying to get my screwdriver magnetized again. There we go. And we're going to take these two brackets from the previous issue, and we're going to be mounting them onto this circuit board. The first one is going to go right here. See, you have the threaded hole right there in the bracket, and it's going to go right there, right behind that Wi-Fi antenna. So let me get this screw in, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. And as you can see, we've got that one bracket bolted on there. Now, the next bracket is going to go over here, and it goes at about a 45-degree angle, like that. Maybe a little more out, like that. I'm trying to match it to the picture on Todd's website the best that I can. So let's get a screw in that real quick. It's moved, of course. And I think we can probably move it a little bit after it's tight. There we go. We have those two brackets on there like that. We may have to adjust it a little bit to get it to fit exactly where it's supposed to inside of R2's head. So the next thing we're going to do is get all this stuff out of the way. Throw that away. We're going to move R2's head over here. Now, the spot we're looking for is right here. Right here is where that circuit board is going to go. And it's going to go oh, this is going to be fun. Under here, like this. And I got them pretty close to where they're supposed to be. So we're just going to kind of lay that down right there. And we're going to use 2.5 by 6 millimeter silver screws. I believe those are these. So let's see if we can hold this up and get one of these screws started. And we did. Now I'm not going to tighten that one because I'm going to take another one over on this side and we're going to have to move. Let's go ahead and get that one started too. So that bracket won't turn. Now, this bracket is probably going to have to be tweaked a little bit to get it exactly where it needs to be. I believe that's right there. It is. There we go. We got all 4 of them started. Let me get these tightened up and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I also reached down in here and checked these, just give them an extra little turn just to make sure they didn't loosen up any while we were moving the brackets around to get these bolts lined up. So the next thing we're going to do is flip open that little clamshell connector. It says make sure you've grounded yourself. So I'm going to reach up and touch my computer case to make sure I'm grounded. And then I don't know if you can see, turn it around this way. I don't know if you can see it, but right here on this connector, there's a little lid that flips up. So we want to flip that up. And then we're going to take this ribbon cable from the camera and we're going to slide it under here, under this frame rail, and we're going to get it, or try to get it, right into there. Well, they did not leave any extra room to play with. And then we got it in there, and then we click that down. And there you go. Well, there you go. You can see the ribbon cable right here connected into there. So the next thing we're going to do is feed the microphone cable which is this one, where does this need to plug up at? Right on the side, right there. So that needs to plug up. Right there. See, now we've got the microphone plugged in right there. Okay. And that is the end of this issue. So let me get the stuff out for the final issue, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. Here we are. Pack 100. The last pack of R2. So let's get this open. Throw that away. Get everything out. We've got another one of our nice little wire tidy tubes there. We've got a sticker to go on the inside of the door to show what the buttons on R2 do, and we've got some more of those little plug covers, and then we've got more plug covers, and then we've got several wires. No more screws. So the first thing we want to do is connect the extension speaker cable to the matching speaker socket on the MCU. Okay, so we've got R2 back up on the desk, and we're going to be connecting this extension speaker cable into the board there. And I was trying to figure out how I'm going to show you where it goes, and I'm going to try this. And excuse me for the shaky cam, but if you can see, I don't know if you can read it or not, but right there where it says speaker, it's behind this wire tie here. There's a plug. There you go. Now you can read it. Speaker. That's where we're going to be connecting this wire to. So let me switch back to the other camera. And I'm going to take this wire and somehow get in there to that plug. I don't know how, but we're going to figure it out one way or another to get this plug into there. Jeez, there's just no room to reach it. And there we go. We got it. We got it in there. Let's see. Shaky cam again. There it is, plugged in. Right there. I know it's not focusing, but it's just a little webcam. But there it is, plugged in. Now, the next thing we're going to do is route the other end of the extension speaker cable over this control board right here and out, just like that. Now fit the two cables marked CN to the end of each PCB cable. Oh, okay, I got it. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this cable with the two 5-pin connectors on it that came in this pack, and we're going to be putting these two connectors that say CN, one on each end of this wire. And that's not an easy job to do. There we go. There's one. And then one on the other end. And you've seen me do these before. You just lay the wire on there, fold it around, and squeeze it. And that one fell off. Where did he go? I don't know where that one went. Anyway, now we're going to cut off these two. Say H out. Scoot R2 back a little bit. Let's take these two that say H out. And we're going to do the same thing to this wire. Well, that one's on the other wire popped off, and I'm not even sure where it went. I don't see it anywhere, and I'm not going to crawl around on the floor right now looking for it, so we're just going to move on. Now we're going to take the H out and put that on one end of the cable. Let's move it up this way, give us a little room to play with. Snap that on like that, and then we'll take the other H out and we'll put it on this end of the cable, just like that. Just wrap it around. There's a hole in the back that the little tab goes in, and snap it. Not always easily done when you've got this many wires going in there, but just like that. Now, bring the red plug on the PCB cable and the white plug of the distribution board cable together. So, red and white together. And then we're going to take this cable wrap and we're going to wrap these wires. And the easiest way I found to do it is just unwrap a little bit of this plastic thing, set it on here, like that, and then just start wrapping it around the wire. So let me get this wrapped, and then we'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And as you can see, I've got his head back out now. So the first thing we're going to do is plug the red plug of the H out. That would be this one. I have to adjust my cable twist a little bit here to give some space to these two wires. There we go. That ought to work. So we're going to plug this red wire that says H out into that red plug right there on that green distribution board. So it goes this way. And there we go. It's plugged up. I don't know if you could see that or not, but it's plugged up. Now the next thing we're going to do is plug this white plug and I would think it would go under. Yeah, it goes under here. Somehow. And plugs in over here. So it plugs in all the way over here. And I know my fat fingers are in the way. Right there is where it plugs in at, right beside that heat sink. And then we've got this coming out of R2's head. And then we need to secure it with a cable tie. So hang on a second. Let me get a cable tie and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So we're going to take a cable tie, and I rerouted this wire right here onto the other side of this because that's the way Todd has it on his page. So we're going to wrap this tie, trying not to touch that circuit board there because they said, do not touch the circuit board. So we're not going to touch the circuit board if we can help it. So there we go. Put that around there. Pull it tight. And Todd's got it tied right about there, so not too much stress on it, but and then we'll just snip it off. And there we go. We've got it tied in place right there. Okay, now we're going to take the dome spindle, which I have over here in the box, and if you can see down inside there, there's a bearing down in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this rod, we're going to slide it down in there and make sure it sits right into that bearing so that it rotates freely. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we got to get R2's body over here with R2's head. And I don't know how well that's going to fit on the desk. So we're going to have to find out. Can you sit right there? Yeah, you can sit right there for a minute. Let's get R2's body back over here and in the camera. And we're going to zoom out a bit. So what we're going to do is nothing difficult at all. We're going to hold this in while holding this wire, guiding it through here, and putting the head on. Got it? All at one time, we're going to do all of that. So, we're going to take this wire down through there. Not through there. Now, I need to get this wire back over here where it belongs somehow with something. Let's use this paintbrush right here to get this wire back over here where it belongs. There we go. Now, I know you can't see any of this because all you see is the top of R2's dome. I'm going to sit that, bam, right in there. And now, R2's head is on. And I don't know how in the world I'm going to show you the rest of this, because it's inside of R2. And maybe I can get this camera to somewhat work in there. Maybe. Let's see. We've somewhat got a view inside there. These are the wires that we just pulled down from R2's head. And so the next thing we're going to do, oh, one thing I should mention. You see right here, right up here, there's some slots in this, and then there's these little pieces that stick down on this Y-frame here. Those pieces sit right into those slots, and that's what turns R2's head. That's what ties it to the shaft so that it'll turn when the shaft turns. And I know the focus on this camera is horrible. We need light in there. Can we get more light in there? Maybe. Maybe not. Take my little bendable light here and move it over. Does that help any? This is just too much to be in here. Maybe that helps a little bit. I can't tell if that's helping any or not. Maybe a little. There's a little bit of light. We can always maybe turn R2 a little bit. But the next thing we're going to do is Todd's mentioning tying these wires right here on the lightsaber tube so that they don't hit this bar right here when the head turns, but I've already done that because I looked ahead on Todd's page. So I've already got that part done that Todd's talking about. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this white plug, and I know there is no way in heck that I'm going to be able to do this and not have my hand in the way of the camera. Okay, I got it in the plug. Now I have to push it in. Crap. Get back in there. And now I need to carefully push it down in there because I don't want to bend any pins. It's not in there yet. There we go. Now it's in there. Can you see that white plug right there? This cable plugged in right there. I know, you can't see it. It's plugged in right there. That's where the H out goes. Now we're going to take the C in. And this one says C in. And we're going to plug it in. See this red connector right here? We're going to plug it in right there. So let's get the plug turned the right way first. See if we can get it to sit down in there like that. And then maybe I can reach through here and click it in. Bam, that one was easier. I could reach it from the side. So now we've got this red plug in right there. Now, hang on one second. And I'm back. Okay, so what I ended up doing was I ended up rerouting this harness right here down through this hole. You know, I had it routed around behind. I routed it down through this hole, replugged up the two plugs down at the bottom, and fed enough of it back up through this D-ring right here to give enough slack for the head to turn fully both directions. Now what I'm going to do is put a wire tie right here to hold that in place where it needs to be, and then we will test R2's head to make sure it turns fully both directions once we get this wire tie in place. And it's really hard to see a black wire tie in there with not much light. Okay, we got the wire tie on, and before I cut it, I'm going to take R2's head and rotate it fully this direction. Okay, nothing's binding there. And I'm going to rotate it fully in that direction, and nothing's binding there. Something seems to be a little, I think we're one notch off on this head, to be honest, because that only goes that far around, and that goes that far around. You know, we're one notch off on this head. Let me lift this up out of there and turn it one notch. Now let's try it. Turn it this way. Still stops there. Turn it this way. And it stops there. Why is that? Hang on, guys. I'm going to pause and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Everything's right. I checked everything. It's right. It just seems to turn further one way than it does the other way. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's just the way it is, I guess. So anyway, we got the wire tie on. There's plenty of room for it to rotate both ways. So I'm going to clip this wire tie now. Like that. And then we're going to get the rear panel. And we've got, let me switch back to the other camera. There. Move R2 back. We've got the speaker wire. We're going to take the speaker wire. We're going to bring this wire in here and we're going to plug it up. The speaker extension wire that we installed earlier. Now we've got that plugged up. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to slide this on while making sure this wire is tucked in. Now I know you can't see it. You wouldn't be able to see it with the other camera either. So we're just going to do our best here to make sure the wire's tucked. Get this panel on. I'm hanging on his head. There we go. And it's on. Now we're going to secure it with 2.5 by 6 millimeter screws. Let's see if we can get that in this camera. There's one of them. Let me find my screws. And the screwdriver. 2.5 by 6 silver screws. We want to make sure these are pushed together as we put the screws in. And to make sure the holes are lined up, evidently. Yeah, it's off. Needs to go over just a hair. And that should go right in. And there we go. We got that one. Now let's get the bottom one. Then I'll secure the rest of these off camera. That one is lined up, I believe. I'll push that back to make sure there's no gap. And there we go. That's all it is. There's two more here, four on the other side, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and we got all the screws in R2. His panels are tight. We'll put the hole covers in a minute. The next thing we're going to do is put that sticker on. Yeah, you don't want to watch me put hole covers on. I can put those on later. Let's get this sticker on. Let's get R2 turned around here. R2, you go on the diet, man. What in the world was that? I don't know what that was. I think I knocked something off the back of my desk. Oh well, it's all good. As long as it wasn't something I need right now. But this sticker is going to go on the inside of this door. Yeah, I know the camera work sucks, but I just don't have room for this R2 on my desk, really. That sticker on the door, that just tells you what the buttons do. Switch back to the other camera. We're going to open this. I think that's the one that opens. It's crooked. How did it get crooked? We're going to open this. We're going to put the lightsaber in and close it. Oh. Now, we're going to turn R2 back around. I'm going to make sure the main power switch is off. It is. We've already, let's see if I can get it in this camera. Not very well, but we've already undone the screws. I left them undone. Now we're going to slide out the battery box. There we go. We're going to take out these two screws. Well, I'm glad this doesn't have to be done very often because they did not make it easy to do. There is just enough wire to get the battery box out. Okay, we open this, and then we get our batteries. I have these 6 batteries right here that have already, phew, excuse me, I had to sneeze there. Can you see this better from the top camera maybe? No, you can't see it all from there. On this camera, there we go. Now we got it. These are the batteries that I prepared earlier, with the little charger that they included. So there's 2, and you put them in according to these little, you know how to put batteries in, according to the little pictures on the inside of the. These are a little odd though, because most batteries you install one facing one way, one facing the opposite way, back and forth, back and forth. But these are in pairs, 2 facing this way. Then you've got 2 facing this way. I don't like the way that spring's sitting on that. Good Lord, those springs are tight. Yeah, it'll be all right. And then these 2. Like that. So you've got 2 facing this way, 2 facing this way, 2 facing this way. Then we're going to put our cover back on. Like that. Put the 2 screws back in. I'm having to do this right-handed. Not good. But we'll make it work. Okay. Now, we slide our battery box back up inside of R2 maybe. Like that. Then we've got to retighten those 2 screws. There's my little stubby screwdriver. There it is. Let me get these tightened up, and I'll be right back. Okay, the next thing we have to do is get the power adapter ready. Now, they send you a power adapter that can be adapted to fit either European or American plugs, and they gives you the adapter for the American plug, because I'm in America. So we need to fit this on. There's 3 little slots there. There's 3 little tabs on here. There you go. And you just fit them in there like that, and then turn it. Did you hear that click? It just locks on. So that's ready to go. So now what we have to do is plug up R2 to the wall for a few seconds. That activates the batteries, and then you can unplug him and turn him on. So hang on 1 second. All right, guys, I'm back, and here he is. R2 is finished. It's been fun. I'll have to do a video sometime where I can get him down and drive him around. But there's his head. He drives around, but I'm not gonna drive. Well, maybe a little. Yeah, see, I don't want to run him off the desk. But the little screens work. And let me turn his head. The one on the back works. And I'll do another video sometime of him showing all the things he can do when I can get him down off the desk and show you what all he does walking around. There's the two little arms on the front that open. That's pretty cool. For some reason, the lightsaber doesn't work. I don't know. I'll have to play with that and figure it out. The door opens. I've checked that. The door's not hung up or anything, but the lightsaber doesn't pop up. I even opened the door and hit the button and it still doesn't pop up. Something's going on inside. I'll have to look at it. Let's see. What can I do here? We can make him talk. Let's see. Danger, danger. Lonely. Nagging. Raspberry. Startled. Laugh. Grumbling. Upset. Yeah, can't really do a whole. He can shake his head. My video's froze for some reason. Why is my video froze? Did you hear any of that? Yeah, the connection to DroidCam went away. Let me reconnect that. But yeah, let's he can shake his head. That's about all that I can really demonstrate right here on the desk. He can't really move a whole lot. We can turn left. We can turn right. But he can't really move much more than that. I mean, he's almost as big as the desktop is. So I think I'm just going to end it here. I'll try to do another video when I can get him down on the floor and have him running around. But I appreciate y'all stopping by and checking out the epic end of R2D2. It's so cool. These little things turned out so cool that I just love it. I love it. And he has buttons here on the front. You can use these buttons to have him do different things. That's what this sticker was that we put on there. If it'll focus. It's not going to focus on it. There we go. Patrol mode, arms in and out, lightsaber up and down, pair mode, switch connection mode, and power on off. And that's something else. You're supposed to be able to connect directly with Wi-Fi between the phone and R2. I could not get that to work, but I can connect him to the network and then control him through my Wi-Fi network. But I cannot get him to direct connect for whatever reason. I may have to play around with that some. But I'm going to get out of here. Sorry for the shaky cam, y'all. That's the end of R2. And I have to admit, it's an awesome kit, and I love it. I just got to figure out why he won't connect direct and why the lightsaber doesn't work. If I can figure those out, everything else is perfect. Everything else is sweet. But thank you for stopping by Don's Modeling Desk. Thank you for watching the end of R2. And I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a good one. Like and subscribe if you want. And we'll get moving on with Defiant and the Walking Dead tank and some other things. So y'all have a good one, and I'll catch you later.